Hello, and good day guys. My name is Pistachio, and today we'll be taking a look at the new Spyre Loque pad. I am pretty sure that most of you haven't really heard of Spyre, as it's not really been an out there type of company. I don't have too much info on them as a company, as they're relatively small, but I'm also aware that it's an Australian-based company and manufacturer of pads, and is primarily owned and ran by people who have quite the few years of experience in arena shooters like Quake and Diabolical. So, to kind of get to the point, they have brought out two pads so far. The K-Make was a slow pad with a bit of quality issues, and they've taken a lot of the feedback from that one and decided to go with a completely different approach, releasing a speed pad. Now, this one is titled the Loque. It's their first Cordura pad. So for those not knowing of what Cordura is, it's a super strong and tough fabric that's mainly used in garments and bags that need to withstand abuse. Now, the thing with using Cordura as a surface for a mousepad is that it doesn't damage easily. It's dense and it glides consistently, the stopping power is great, and it's a speed pad. So, super low initial friction, but great stopping power. Now, Spyre is really confident in their pads and have provided a 10-year warranty on both the K-Make and Loque, so you're kind of set for the future if something were to happen. But now to get into the, actual pad. The Loque comes in at 500 by 500 millimeters and has the option of stitched or non-stitched edges, and is also packaged in a rolled tube. The unboxing was very straightforward. It's a cap that twists off, a plastic sleeve covering the pad, and that's it. Because the pad is very dense and relatively heavy, it just completely rolls itself out on my desk. The sides were a bit curled up, but after a bit of time they just flattened themselves out, so no issues on that. Then of course the surface. It's a unique Cordura pad with a tight weave making a very nice, dense pad. The base is standard rubber base, and I'm assuming that's why it's a fair bit heavier and why the sides curl that flat so easily. Then of course we come to the stitching, where you have the option to have it or to have a flat surface and base. So of course I opted for the stitched version, as in my opinion it does save the pad from fraying out over the sides with lots of wear over time. It's very good stitching, super neatly done, zero microfraying, tight knit and soft but strong threading. The whole idea with this pad was to go for something stupidly strong and speedy, and they achieved it. The pad has been on my desk for the last week and some change, and just so I can, extensively break it in and give my full thoughts with using different mice and skate materials on it. The pad has been holding up so well. It's something that I definitely needed to switch up for my personal rotation. I came from the Artisan Hien mid, which was way rougher on my skin and a bit inconsistent in the axes, with the Y being slower and the X a fair bit faster. And then eventually I decided to switch over to the Artisan Zero mid, which is still relatively fast, but more leaning towards control and had a way less stickier base, so on a very, very rare occasion it might slide around. It's honestly been serving me so well. I was worried it would be the same case with the Hien, that the rough material would be abrasive on my skin, but it hasn't caused irritations whatsoever. The gliding has been very consistent with each type of mouse skate that I've used so far. The Tiger Eye skates on my Phantom, the stock skates on my Viper V2 Pro, glass skates on my Atlantis, and eventually ceramic dots on my HSK Pro 4K. They've all been a very lovely experience and haven't caused any dead spots or areas of inconsistency, but that's just so far. The stitching on the pad is a bit higher than what I'm used to coming from the Artisan pads. It isn't really an issue, but just something that has to be pointed out, especially for those who kind of heavy hand their mice and go off the sides a fair bit. This, I'd kind of make the assumption that it would wear out way more over time. The base is just a standard rubber base with a little neat zigzag staircase pattern. Nothing fancy, but it bloody works like a charm. It's overall a really, really awesome pad, and my first experience with Cordura as a material. I've personally seen great increase in my personal gameplay when it comes to tracking, flicking, consistency, and also just some very niche movement. As Apex is my game of choice ever since its launch. So I don't really have any gripes with this pad and material for the time being, but all I know is it's going nowhere and will be staying on my desk until I find something new. Now this is something I would really recommend to someone kind of looking to get into a budget speed pad, because this one is labelled at 40 Australian dollars, which is really not bad for the size, the material, the warranty of 10 years on it, which is bloody absurd, so that just kind of shows confidence. But yeah, I will leave the link in the description, and thanks for watching. Hope you all take care and have a good one. A peace.